there, and welcome to the Costa Mesa Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make our area such a great place to live. I am so excited to have Laura Maldonado with ReCreate Spaces here with me today. She does amazing things to help people with organizing and cleaning out, decluttering, and a lot more. She wears many hats, and we're going to investigate more about this today. So, Laura, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. So I wanted to get a little bit more of a backstory from you. ReCreate Spaces, you didn't start as a business. You started out like helping people with organizing.
I did.
So like, has that always been something you were good at, or is it something that like it calms you down? What is the backstory there?
Actually, it does both.
Uh-huh.
So I started organizing when I was a little kid,
Uh-huh.
little girl. I grew up in a house that was pretty chaotic, and it just came very naturally to me. I tell people I came out of my mother's womb as an organizer
Uh-huh.
and declutterer. So, but it does actually calm me down. So it's actually kind of meditative to me, believe it or
Yeah.
not, and
Therapeutic.
very satisfying. So I love doing it.
Great. So then how did it go from like being a hobby, something you were good at as a child, into a full-fledged business?
Right. Well, I had a friend of mine ask me 3 years ago what wouldn't feel like work.
Okay.
And I immediately said organizing, and I literally got goosebumps.
Aw.
I couldn't believe that I could actually do something, maybe, right, for a living and get paid for it and something I'm so good at,
It's only been 3 years.
where I've been making money doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness. Okay. And I know you have a real estate background and
I
everything.
do.
So I assume that you probably have seen a lot of people that could use help with organizing. You were probably doing it for free for quite a while.
I was.
Yeah.
I was, and loving every minute of it,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I worked for corporate America for many years, but yeah, I worked in real estate as a realtor for 10 years,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad that you love doing it because I really didn't, even though I did
Aw.
really well.
Yeah.
So, there are people who are meant to do what you do, and there are people who are meant to do what I do.
Yes.
And then so I actually spent a lot of time in people's homes and, some of the things you might be looking for.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, a lot of times when people are going to list a home, they may not realize, like, they might have a base understanding of what decluttering is,
Mhm.
but to know what it means to declutter so that strangers coming into your house can appreciate it is like a different beast.
It is.
So, what are some of the tips that you often give people when they're living in a property, but they want to sell it, so they kind of want it to look more or less like a model home?
Yes.
How do you get past that?
Right. So everyone's idea of what's decluttered is different and
Mhm.
organized. And so I will say to them, imagine you're going into a model home
Yeah.
and just picture that in your mind. We together need to work on making it look more like that.
Yeah.
You need to take yourself out of this and remember that the people coming in don't know you. They don't want to know you, actually.
Yeah.
They want to imagine their stuff and their property,
Yeah.
not your stuff.
Yes, what's cute to you may not be cute to somebody else.
No, and the more stuff people have,
Mhm.
I call it collections,
Yeah.
but the more stuff people have, the less good your home is going to show because it makes it feel cluttered.
Mhm.
And honestly, I actually read a study just a few days ago that said if a property is cluttered, people make an assumption in their mind that the home has not been well taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Who knew that, right? But that's something to know.
Yeah, that's like kind of a subconscious undertone. And I know
Yes.
for some people too, if a house is too cluttered, they start to think, oh, well, if it's so cluttered for them, like how is it gonna fit all of my stuff? It's just gonna feel
Indeed.
cluttered for me. Yeah.
Indeed. So you got to create, I recommend creating enough space so that they can imagine their stuff on the kitchen counters, not your, set of, cute little ceramic pigs or something, right? So just, I recommend, and I actually work with people to just come in with boxes, me and my team,
Yeah.
and we start putting those things away. Yes, you can leave out a couple things that you need, but for the most part, you need to clear the space so people can imagine their stuff in your home.
Yeah, I always think it's great when you go into a property when you're showing it and your buyers that you're with or the buyers that come in ask if it's staged or if someone's living there. And if someone is living there and you're asked if it's staged, that's a good tell that they did a really good job decluttering.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and they have, and maybe they did have a stager come in. Maybe you recommended it, maybe they did it, or maybe there are some people out there who are just good at it.
Yeah.
Design.
Oh, you definitely. Good thing we have a designer here today too. So
Yes.
yeah. So no, you don't only work with people that are looking to sell their homes, but if anybody, whether they're selling or they just need a good cleanup or they inherited a property or any of the above, what does an appointment with you look like or a consultation? How does that all start? And what do you do?
Right.
Do people have to clean up for you?
No, I actually tell them, please don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make you feel embarrassed or ashamed. I'm here to help,
Yeah.
right? I'm here so that you can take a deep breath and breathe better in your house. So please don't do any of that. Let me come in and see how you're living, because there are questions then that I get to ask, right? And if something's put away, then I don't get to ask that question. And it might be something that you do all the time in your home.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine like with kitchen appliances and that type of thing. People might want to put it away to get it out of the way, but in reality, maybe they're using it every day, so it's a
Right.
hustle.
Right. So if it's in a kitchen, let's say, and they have the rice cooker and the Instapot and what do you call it? The hot pot, whatever, all these different gadgets, you probably need to put some of that stuff, like, are you really using this all the time?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you are, we'll leave maybe one of those out, maybe put some of them in the garage for a while.
yeah, yeah. I usually tell people like your coffee maker can stay.
Yeah.
However, if you're not using the crock pot every day, you're just gonna have to schlep it back and forth for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's not that much of a hassle. And it's
Yeah.
really so you can get top dollar for your home.
Yeah, no, actually, that brings up a really good point because I know one thing that we have talked about in our meetings is that it's not only it doesn't only help the home sell faster, but for more money.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. I was just talking to you about a potential customer who, the house needs to be completely updated to make the most on the house, and she's pretty interested.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can do that.
But yes, most people do want as much money as they can get, but with as little headache as possible. And I think I was with somebody yesterday who has been helping to clean out their family's house. And, after 40, 50 years in a property, you just accumulate stuff everywhere. And some people have a hard time letting go of it and it's overwhelming. And I'm sure you have to sit there with people and help them be okay with letting things go. It's probably more than just the stuff.
Oh, it's a lot more than that because there's an emotional component to it.
Yeah.
Whether it's my parent passed or it's my childhood memories,
Yeah.
or it's I'm not sure if I'm ready to go to, maybe it's a senior downsizing, right?
Yeah.
So there's also relationships amongst family
I was
members.
just going to ask you that. Yes.
Yes, that can be interesting. As a matter of fact, my company has been hired so that the sibling can remove themselves from the situation because they don't want to get at it,
Yeah.
with their parents. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't blame them. But I go in there and so do the people on my team. Everyone's kind and considerate and caring. And we just ask questions to help them think through things. For example, do you really plan on needing 3 waffle makers, at your new place where you're going?
Yeah.
That's a real story, right? Do you need a 20-piece set of skillets and pans? Is the place you're going to, is it already, do they cook for you? Right? So it's just being kind, considerate, and giving them the questions to help them think through that. And then the other thing is that I help people understand that I'm taking their stuff, 90% of it at least, for donation. Right? So I'm like, somebody else can use this, and they were shocked. I'm talking about helping people go through things. So sometimes sometimes people will start going down memory lane when they're looking at things.
Yeah.
Um, and so, we will gently say to them, do you mind if I keep working over here while you tell me the story?
Yeah.
And so, they're going to always say, of course.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I say, it might be good if you hold on to some of this stuff and maybe we'll put it in a box over by your chair for later after we're gone. And then you can go and look at some of this stuff so that we can just move through this a little more quickly.
Yeah. You probably, I mean, everybody that goes into someone's home and provides a service probably does run into people that want somebody to talk to.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
We can talk
Yeah.
for sure.
But you want to also get your work done.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They're there for a purpose.
So one of the things I can tell you in terms of letting things go, I should say, is I've successfully helped two women let go of their wedding dresses, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh. Was it like divorce situations?
No.
Or
No, not at all.
just didn't
They
want
just-
it taking up space?
No, they were like, I just don't, my kids aren't going to want to wear this, which is probably true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I always hated this dress anyway. And so it's like, let's take it for donation.
Oh, that's amazing. And someone
know.
else can be gifted with it. That's
Right.
so sweet.
Yeah.
And that's obviously one of the larger sentimental pieces in people's lives,
Indeed.
for
So-
better or worse.
Indeed.
But helpful. So I also wanted to touch upon the fact that you help people as well when there's like insurance claim issues and whatnot. Is that typically if a house is damaged and they have
Yes.
to declutter? Okay.
So,
Any advice on that? Because we all know insurance is a
Yeah.
touchy subject right now.
it is. So, if you happen to have, let's say, this is a kind of a really normal scenario, unfortunately,
Mhm.
is you've got a leak in your house and now it turns into basically a flood.
Yeah.
And it's really bad when it's upstairs and then it affects your upstairs and your downstairs.
Yeah.
So, of course, don't ever call your 800 number don't ever do that. No.
Call your agent.
Call your agent first. They're going to help you understand how to approach this the best way. But you, as the customer, you get to say, I would like to work with ReCreate Spaces. There are different companies who do that. However, we're very careful with things. I've been entrusted to pack 125-year-old Waterford crystal
Oh my gosh.
and some really amazing pieces, $40,000 pieces of artwork, that kind of stuff. So if you want your stuff handled with care, we take an inventory. I coordinate with the moving company. We put it into storage. You get your home taken care of through the insurance, company. But then we bring it back
Yeah.
and we put it back in your home and it's organized. So we do way more than the average company.
Yeah, I can imagine so. I mean, even just in terms of people when they move and having like a mover that they can depend upon that isn't going to be rough with their stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
with people's valuables, especially going through a hard time, it's
Mhm.
really important to have that extra help and support.
Right, and having the empathy for that,
Mhm.
it's a big deal, I've actually lived through it, so I know what it's all about.
Oh, you're walking in the shoes of your clients.
Uh-huh.
So I also wanted to touch upon some of the other specialties that you have because you do wear many hats
I
at
do.
ReCreate Spaces. So what are some of the main things that people reach out to you for? And what are some of the things that people might not know that you do?
Right.
Mhm.
So right now, we're in August, right?
Yeah.
And it's high season for moving. So people are calling my company to pack up their home or unpack their home.
Okay.
And so I can even do whole move management. So everything from, I think I want to sell my house. So I'll connect them with you,
Mhm.
right? And then we'll pack up the house. I can either do a slow pack, which means a little at a time,
Yeah.
doing the holiday stuff, the things you're not using a lot, or I can come in and with my team with enough notice
Yeah.
and we can pack up an entire home in a couple of days if it's a really big one.
Yeah, I saw that you did like a 2,500 square foot house in one day.
We unpacked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. Now I did have to have everybody on my team.
Sure.
I do have 6 other people that work on my team with me,
Yeah.
but I have to make sure that it fits into the schedule far enough, like a couple weeks at least in advance. But yeah, I mean, imagine you go away for breakfast and lunch and maybe come home around dinner time, and everything is literally put away in your home. All the
You
boxes are, yeah,
you need
out.
to network with a lot of people that are having babies and moving.
As a matter of fact, so
She's a marketing genius.
I worked. Actually, I have. I started there on Sunday, and my team has been going over there. It's a family that moved out of an apartment in Los Angeles. They moved into a really lovely home in Mission Viejo, and there's a 5-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
and a dog.
So
So
they've got their hands full.
they do, and they just, how do you as a parent, how do you do that and unpack your house?
Yeah.
I just, it can be done, but she was overwhelmed like most people are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of work.
it really is. But here's the thing, we love it.
Yeah.
So as much work as it is to other people, I'm just weird like that. It just
Yeah.
makes me so happy to do it.
Yeah, it's something that, like you said, it's kind of meditative for you, but you also enjoy helping people, so
Oh,
it's like a
yes.
win-win.
It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you
it's
gotta
great.
do what your heart is into, right?
Yeah. And almost every time I wind up asking the customer if they want additional storage solutions.
Mhm.
So, as you might imagine, there's um, hiring a company like mine, we know ways to make the most out of the space that you have,
Yeah,
and then also what tools are out there for us to use.
yeah.
And so we'll bring different storage solutions, and then I let people just kind of shop in my car with
Love
what
it.
I have. And I say, we could do this here, we could do that there. And then people get to decide for themselves where they want. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
And then if they want labels, we can do all of that. Or you know what? I can use a shoebox. If you got a shoebox collection, I can use that too.
I know you've helped a couple of our mutual friends with organizing their garages and stuff, which is
Yeah.
I still need to get you over to my house because our garage could use it. But I mean that's obviously another like side service that you
It
offer.
is. It
Yeah.
is. So, any room in a house or even an office,
Mhm.
a garage is something that comes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, I had the great pleasure. To me, it's great fun organizing the tool chest and putting all of the holiday things in different um, plastic storage with lids and labeling it, and then getting it up and out of the way.
Yeah.
And the label's big so you can see what it is when you're looking, at up in the garage. But so imagine this. This is a really fun one. I had a wife call and say, I want to surprise my husband. He's a firefighter,
Okay.
and I want to surprise him for Father's Day.
Aw.
So he did not know that we went into their 2-car garage and completely organized everything,
Oh my gosh.
top to bottom, all matching bins, all matching labels, created this space, created that space, and he got to come home the next day, open the garage door and see it.
Oh my gosh, she was probably like, am I in my house?
He was so excited. Well, everybody was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I've read, and I guess I know it's true too, that when you have kind of an organized, clean, clutter-free environment, you actually feel better.
True.
Mentally, physically, all the things.
Yeah, there's science that backs that up,
Mhm.
actually. So I know that there are people who say, no, 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 even though I'm messy, I know where everything is. That's fine. What it doesn't do, though, is it doesn't help you sleep well, doesn't help you process things as well, analyze as well. So I know for myself that if I have a little stack of things maybe on the kitchen table, it actually makes me anxious.
Same.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just can't stand it. And so it really will not stay there for long at all.
Yeah.
And so I help people who aren't naturally organized with a system,
Yeah.
right? And so the system allows them to not have to work overtime in their brain about where am I going to put it. It already has a home,
Yeah.
and I'm going to create that for them.
Ooh, the tie into homes.
Yes, right.
Love it. I
Yes.
love it. So, as far as a service like yours, and I know obviously it's going to be case dependent, but it could be a luxury. I'm sure there's obviously a value assigned to it. So, what sort of ballpark would you say people are looking to invest in some sort of service like this?
So, for example,
Mhm.
the garage
Yeah.
that we did, including the storage totes, um, A two-car garage. It wasn't jam-packed, but it really needed to be organized. It was $1,800.
Oh,
But you know what? There
that's
were
not
two
bad at
that
all.
right, and there were two of us for 8 hours apiece.
Okay.
So it was a long day, but a good
Sure.
day, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, okay. Well, it's just nice to hear some sort of example. So,
Hmm.
obviously, you do small jobs, big
Sure.
jobs, everything in between, and everything has its own particular nuance to it. So,
Right.
you customize everything.
I do. Every situation's different, even though there's some general principles and,
Yeah.
and ways to go about it, every place is different. And so, for example, yesterday I went in to help a woman who lost her mom a year ago, and there's very little actually in the house right now. And she just didn't know where to get started. And so I said, well, how about we start here with this pile? What would you like to do? And she still didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so I went and I got some tape, colored tape, and I started picking up every single piece and helped her see, oh, this is how we do it. And so in this case, we're going to spend 4 hours and it's going to be about 280.
Yeah. Okay. I love that though. Like I love just from the beginning of the interview, the fact that you said that you wanted to figure out what you would do, like it would make you happy and fulfilled. And then you got goosebumps when you just happen to blurt out organized.
Right.
And 3 years later, look at where you are, and you're helping lots of people. I've seen some of your stories on Facebook, and they're really heartwarming.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
doing a really good thing.
Thank you.
So we already know that you have a team and everything. If somebody wanted to reach out to you and they, they were gonna have you over, they weren't gonna clean because we tell them not to clean.
No.
What is the best way for them to find you or learn a little bit more about you? I mean, I know you're online. Where can people find you?
Right. So they can find me on, I have a lot on Facebook. I'm getting into Instagram. It's not quite up there yet, but
Mhm.
so look up Laura Maldonado on Facebook. You'll see some before and afters. They can also call me 949-521-4143 or go to my website,
Yes, I'll link
which
all of it.
is recreatespaces.com.
Great. Is there anything else you want to share that you feel is useful, helpful information for anybody out there?
Sure. If anybody who sees this podcast wants to reach out to me and see if they'd like to hire me, we can first of all have a conversation, and I'm willing to offer a free consultation to them to come over and take a look
Yeah.
and give them actually a very good idea of the cost that they'd be looking at.
Yeah. So I have one other side question for
Yeah.
you. In cases where there are family disputes and whatnot, or people are walking around on eggshells because one person wants to hold on to things and the other one wants it out and doesn't have empathy for it. If they're kind of in a stalemate, is there anything that you can do, or is it best to just walk away for a little bit?
What I recommend to people is to stop and say, we're looking to have some harmony here. And so the more we can not be like that, the better. And then why don't we start with some piles that are maybe piles? Maybe you really want it gone and this person is not sure about it.
Yeah.
So we can start with keep piles, maybe piles, and then let's get rid of the piles.
Yeah.
And then later, after everyone's more calm, then I can ask questions, of the people that are there, and help them maybe understand why this is important. Like perhaps, here's a really cool one. One customer, they didn't realize that they had their great grandfather's picture with Babe Ruth. Her great grandfather had sold him his first insurance policy.
Oh,
And there
wow.
was a picture of it.
Yeah.
And she was just ready to get rid of stuff. And, so you never know what you're going to find.
Yes. No, yeah. Well, and one person's junk is another person's treasure, and in that case, that actually was treasure.
It really was.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, like I'm guilty of it myself, hold on to things just because they provide some sort of comfort or a memory of a good time. But when you're selling a house, you do have to at least box it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not gone forever.
Yeah.
We're going to box it up. It's going to be wrapped with care and it's going to be labeled. You're going to know what's in it. It's not like a normal moving company. They're like kitchen. I'm going to tell you what's in there and you can clearly see it.
Yeah, and I also love because I actually didn't realize this. I'm not sure how, but I didn't realize you come in and actually will help people with the packing and
Oh, yes.
unpacking. I mean, I knew you did, the organization, but that whole process, is really stressful for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I see it all the time. So good to know that you can help with that too.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for being here and sharing all sorts of wonderful tips. If you need any help with organizing, with decluttering a home, packing, unpacking, insurance,
Yeah.
Laura's got you. So please feel free to reach out to her.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you. The end.
Yay.